will see to it that your request is sent out to Madame Hampus. Of course, thank you for your payment. Enjoy your evening. So, let me just finish that. There we go. That's done. Hello there. Welcome to Hazelton's post office. How may I be of any assistance? Ah, you're the new assistant that we've been expecting. Wonderful. Just put that there. What a pleasure to finally meet you. My name is Lipsis. I run the post office here together with another elf who is, I believe, currently out doing some deliveries. Yes, it is truly a pleasure to finally meet you. Yes, well, we might as well make ourselves a bit more comfortable, right? Would you like me to pour you a cup of tea? Yes, I have some blueberry mint tea on the fire right now, if you're interested. Lovely. There you go. Do be careful, it's still piping hot. We do have some sugar as well as some milk over there, if you would like that in your tea. There, put it right there for you. Just wait a bit for it to cool down. So then, this is your first time in Hazelton? Yes. And how's the town treating you? Well, we might not be the biggest town in the west of the kingdom, but I can assure you that we have everything that you would need here, and that soon the people and the shops will start to charm you. Thinking of, did you request a residence here? Is that right? Yes, I do have some keys. Where did I put those keys up? Here they are. I believe, yes, these will be the keys that you will need to enter the post office, but also to enter your house. The landlady of your home will be Madame Hampus. She is not the easiest of ladies, but if you keep the place tight, she'll be happy with you. Okay? I also want to provide you with a little map of Hazelton Town, so that I can show you where we are, where your house is, and maybe some interesting shops that are worth visiting. Okay? So, why don't we have a little look at also much bigger than the average adult. And you will also notice the 4 crossroads meeting in the town's square. This is also the place where the post office is situated, right here. Now, in order to get to your residence, which is located here on Gargoyle Street, right here, you simply cross the town square and down this road. Take a left and you will find yourself a timbered house with blue door and blue hedges. I also took the liberty to indicate a couple of interesting buildings, shops, and it might also be interesting to know a couple of the people that live just outside of Hazelton Town. For example, we have here a hunter's cabin. He lives at the edge of the woods, and you can go to him if you would like some pheasant or rabbit or deer of some sort. Then here we have the farmer. His name is Benny Smith, and he is responsible for lots of our local products, such as Hazelton's special apples. No, well, they are our special apples that can only be found in Hazelton. They are a perfect balance between sweet, sour and crunchy. We even have a festival, which you can see an invitation to on the board. The Hazelton Harvest Festival, where lots of people from the kingdom gather to eat dishes prepared with our apples. Think of spiced apples and candied apples and lots of things. The festival is perfect to get to know some people perhaps, to play games, listen to music from our bards, or just taste all the dishes. It's held in October, I believe. You're always free to come. They are produced in this orchard, which you might have passed through when entering our little town. Then we have rather 2 peculiar individuals in the north and the northwest. In the north we have a cobbler gnome. He is an excellent shoemaster, but he is not the easiest person to deal with. On the other side, here we have our own royal witch. She is... What is a royal witch? Oh, well, in Kingdom of Moonsford there are 4 official royal witches sent out by the king on royal command to serve the people. They were obliged to each live in a wind direction. So you have the witch of the north, the east, the south and the west. And we, as Hazelton is situated in the far west, were chosen to harbour our own royal witch, which is wonderful news, of course. You can go to her for a variety of things concerning magic or potion or healing or protection, or if you're a little bit naughty, maybe a hex or a spell or something. Yes. Well, that is it for the layout of our little town. I hope you'll get accustomed with it real soon. Wonderful. So, since you're here to become our new post office assistant, we might as well discuss a little bit what it will entail for you and what jobs you will get. So you will be responsible to help me, assist me in this postal office, to prepare letters, prepare packages, to deliver packages, and to even check if letters or packages contain any illegal matters or spells or hexes or curses. We do request whilst you work here that you wear a pair of enchanted gloves. These are important to protect oneself from cursors that could be attached to any of the packages or posts, and that might then latch onto us. A simple way of ensuring a little bit of security for ourselves. First off, we need to make sure that no illegal matters are sent up right under our noses. But it is also important to follow the royal decree of a minimal magic policy. It is a decree that has been issued by the king himself to allow only magic under a certain degree threshold to be sent out via post. This way we avoid people getting hurt in the process. There are exceptions to these, such as healing magic, but I will show you all the little tricks and know-hows to see what magic it is that you can find and which ones are allowed and which ones aren't. And you will learn lots of it just through experience and handling posts. Alright? I do have a couple of pairs here, one for you of course. Do you know perhaps what your size might be? I've got a pair of smaller ones and then a bit larger ones right here. Right, I'll give them to you then. As I just said, these are not yet enchanted, but I was thinking that you might be able to go to the Witch of the West tomorrow to ask for the enchantment of your clothes. That way you will get to know her and both get your enchantments. And if I might ask, I also have here a basket of goodies that she ordered from us. These are the ingredients that she has ordered. You will find bogotu, some berries, a pouch, some vials and some potions. And accompanied with it, there is a list with all the names of the ingredients as well as their price. You could at the same time deliver it as well. Yes, wonderful. Now, to get to the Witch of the West, I've already told you that she lives at the northwestern side, out of sight of Hazelton, and you simply have to cross through a bit of forest. There is a road intended for visitors, it's quite obvious. When you reach the end of the forest route, you will find yourself facing a swamp. Now, at the banks of the swamp, a little dinghy will be waiting for you. You can simply embark in the dinghy and it will start rowing itself. The dinghy will lead you up until you reach a very dense part of the swamp with high trees and a stilled house with a pointy roof and lots of wax candles dripping. Do not be alarmed by its appearance. The Witch of the West does not often harm visitors. You just enter, and if you notice that she is not present, there will be a skull on her desk. I suggest you gently rub it, and then its eyes will start flickering blue flames. This way she will be summoned to you from wherever she was dwelling. I remember my first visit to the Witch of the West. I accidentally barged in on her eating her dinner, which she did not really seem to appreciate. As revenge, she then turned me into a toad. Yes, I remember shrinking and seeing everything becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. My heart was beating in my chest. There was this pungent smell of tangerines and cloves and some other unidentifiable ingredients. I was so afraid, and then I saw what she was eating. Frog legs. Yes, a cruel joke indeed. And afterwards, she just turned me back into my elf form, sat down and listened to my request. So you see, she doesn't hurt visitors, but she does like to play with them or test them. So I would suggest you keep your wits around with you. Right. Wonderful. Now then, I believe that is it for a little introduction. Oh, pardon me, I forgot to introduce these minks. He likes to keep an eye out for everything here in the post office. I do suggest you keep food away from him. He likes to snatch it from your paws and gobble it up as soon as you're not watching. Just a little tip. So, if you're not too tired, we could inspect perhaps a couple of packages that are to be sent out by tonight. Yes, just inspect them, see if they are allowed to be transported or are according to the regulations. And since you're not wearing enchanted gloves yet, I will be handling them, but you might be able to learn a thing or two from just observing, alright? How wonderful. So, let's see. The first thing I have here is a rather interesting object. Could be an inefficient spoon or a blunted weapon. Perhaps it's some kind of magical tool. Not so sure. It does show an intricate array of details. I do not detect any magic or so from this. So, I think we could allow this to pass by. Right here we have this beautiful dark red flower. Now, what if I told you that I can sense blood magic here? Yes. Would you be able to tell me why this could be identified as blood magic? Just a little guess. Yes, we have this blood red color indeed. But do not forget, my friend, roses, normal roses, could also have a blood red color. So there is a little extra thing that you can watch out for. In this case, you can see gold juice dripping from the leaves, the petals. This is a sure indication of blood magic. A policy with blood magic is that, again, one flower like this does not reach the threshold for magic. But if it were to be the bouquet of these flowers, we would not allow them to be transported. Now, a flower as delicate as this one is probably produced by the court of Azalea. It is a court consisting of maidens and boys running through meadows, playing in ponds or resting on the thick forest leaves and trees. Their nobility line has been crossed with demons and magic and flowers, allowing them to produce the most exotic and rare and beautiful creations. Blood magic being one of them, of course. But we could let this pass, of course, because it is under the minimal amount of magic. Let's see. Next up, we appear to have this little vase. It does seem to be empty, and upon closer inspection, it does seem to be the work of some water elves, pure showing of their craftsmanship. The water elves of the south must have made this looking at waves. You can see the swirls of different types of blue, a little bit of gold veins and white, reminding of waves crushing on the shores and sunlight just playing at the surface. We can also see some bubbles in here, purple suit good hair to give this piece a more lively appearance. It does not appear to be harboring magic, so this is a definite pass. Next up, we have a golden goblet. Now, are you familiar with the legend of the golden goblets? Not yet. Sure, they can be used as purely decorative items, but it is said that they could turn any liquid into wine. Perfect, of course, if you're holding a banquet and you don't wish to spend all your money on wine. You simply purchase a couple of these and you're set for the night. Although I did last receive an unsettling story of one of my friends. He had purchased a goblet or two for him and his wife to enjoy fresh wine on the long summer evenings. And when they first started to enjoy the magic of the goblets, they saw indeed that the water turned into wine. But they also noticed after a couple of glasses that they couldn't stop drinking. Yes, so they gobbled up a humongous amount of wine, and only when they ran out of water they could stop. He told me he never used them again, put them behind closed doors. Just a little lesson to show you that, yes, magic provides with some things, but it also takes away something. Does not seem to harbor too much magic. Besides, we're not responsible for the consequences of the items that we ship. So I can let this go and be transported to its destination. What is this? A short blade or a large dagger? Who's to say? Wonderful piece. A bit rusty and old, I must say. Perfect balance still. If I just still sharp enough to say in order to stab someone. But do you notice the greenish hue coming up of this? Yes, an indication of a hidden curse slipping through. The bounds that are binding it to this have been broken. Something like this we can absolutely not allow to be transported, so we will confiscate it. Besides, our policy with weapons is that it has to come with some license papers showing who the owner is or who the new owner will be, and this one did not come with any, so a double reason to confiscate it. Second to last, we seem to have a couple of stone eggs. Our policy with lives is that, with animal life in general, is that we do not allow the transportation of living animals, but seeing as these eggs seem to be turned to stone, they do not seem to harbour, so they are allowed to be sent off. Though I wouldn't entirely be sure what the use of these would be. Perhaps indeed as just some decorative item, or part of a diet of a creature that we probably wouldn't like to meet. Who's to tell, right? And lastly, we have this golden plate. Just a sneak peek of the craftsmanship of the Dwarf Lords. A beautiful mesmerizing piece. Gold coming from. Yes. No, but do not sense magic coming from it. It's just a beautiful piece. Putting people in trances, I would say. You pass indeed. Now then, I think that's enough for tonight. You must be quite tired, wanting to enjoy a bath or stroll through town and just get into your bed. Of course, don't forget tomorrow to go to the Witch of the West, let your clothes be enchanted, and to deliver a basket full of ingredients. Alright? Wonderful. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I wish you a lovely evening tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.